To the Average Joe Sports Show. Today's April 10th, 2013.
We're back.
And we do know who the NCAA men's and women's champion are.
Who are we sponsored by?
We are sponsored. Today's show is sponsored by
You're forgetting the
Coke.
Coke.
So everybody grab a refreshing Coca-Cola while they listen.
What about Diet Coke?
And no, just Coke.
Oh, come on.
And Rave Cinemas in Southington, where they have $5 and $7 movies.
And we are also sponsored by the movie 42, which will be out this weekend, which I recommend you go see because it's probably going to be one of those classic sports movies.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, but like I said, we now know who the champion in men's and women's basketball is. The men would be...
I predicted it.
The Ville,
Big
Louisville.
Red, the Cards, whatever you want to call it. Not who? Wait, who'd they beat?
Yeah, not Big Blue.
Who'd they beat?
Yeah, Big Blue.
Who?
That would be Big Blue.
It was a good game, though.
It was, and Michigan had a chance to win throughout, but when you are all Trey Burke and no one else really steps up,
yeah,
what can you do?
But it was just the overall game, the coaching, the plays. It was an overall great national championship game. You can't discredit that.
Definitely better than when Duke destroyed Butler or when UConn beat
Duke
Butler.
did not destroy Butler.
Whatever, it was still a better game.
Gordon Hayward remember almost the buzzer beater at half court? You don't remember that?
Yeah, but still.
Better than last year's national championship.
Monday night's game
was one of the best.
Monday night's game was a very good championship game.
Where do you rank it? The past 5 years. I won't give you all time because we don't have to do that. You had to do.
I'd say it's the best in the last 5 years.
I'll agree. I definitely thought it was just the plays. The crowd was into it. I thought it was, for grade-wise for the game, I'll give it a solid A. Just because everything you wanted to see, you saw.
So the Louisville defeated Michigan 82-76. Luke Hancock was named Most Outstanding Player.
Luke.
He had 22 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists.
Well, he had 52 points in the past 3 games.
And he is the first non-starter to be named MOP.
He would have never even been probably scoring this much if it wasn't for Kevin Ware's injury. Because Kevin Ware was their 6th man, and then it was Luke Hancock. So, and we all know what happened to Kevin Ware, so Luke Hancock.
And what is this, like his 5th year? Because he came from George Mason.
I didn't even know where he came from until they said it during the game when he said he came from George Mason, which surprised me. And he wasn't even a 3-point shooter there.
Hey, let me ask you this. Wasn't it great that we didn't get like 8 shots of a player's girlfriend like we did in the championship game for college football? I mean, the only person you saw in the fans multiple times was Tim Hardaway. And yeah. I saw him at least 3 times.
True. I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, it's not that bad to see some beautiful women on TV.
Yeah, but then that launched her career, and she's a joke.
Who?
AJ.
McCarron's girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't even remember her name.
I mean, come on.
It's not that important.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But it truly was a very good championship game.
It was a good Final Four weekend.
And then
we didn't even talk about the Final Four game. What did you think of the Final Four all around? Wichita State, man, this close.
They were up, 12?
With 13 minutes
left. But with the way Louisville has played, you knew.
Yeah. You knew they were coming back. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, you knew that Louisville was either going to make it close or win the game, and that's what they did Saturday night. They won.
Do you agree on that jump ball call?
Unfortunately, I was at work and did not get to see the game.
I wish you got to see it because I would have loved because it was an iffy call, but...
If I had a radio job full-time, I'd be able to watch sports all the time, but I don't. And that's what I'm going for.
Well, this man deserves to be on the radio, so yes.
That I do, but we'll work on that later. All right, what'd you think of the women's championship game last night?
I honestly didn't watch it.
I watched some of it.
I didn't watch it, but every time I saw it was just like...
UConn won 93-60. It wasn't even close. The game on Sunday night between UConn and Notre Dame was a better game.
It was a blowout
than the championship
game.
They
were both blowouts. Once Baylor got out, I knew UConn was the favorite. There was no way they were losing to Notre Dame 4 times.
But UConn ties Tennessee with 8 national championships.
How many does Geno have? Does he really?
8. He has 8.
He has all 8.
8. Geno has built the UConn women's basketball program.
Him and Pat Summitt are the greatest college basketball coaches in women's history.
I can agree with that.
That's what I think. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I felt bad for Louisville just because they had this great run and they ended up getting buried. So, we got Crazy Fan coming through?
Yeah, we do.
Got Crazy Fan coming through.
What up, what up?
But what did you think of the game overall?
The women's game?
Yeah. Terrible.
I mean, when you have a 33-point blowout in a championship game, it was as bad as Alabama thumping Notre Dame.
That worse? I think it was. I think the Notre Dame game was worse.
Yeah, because Notre Dame was hyped up to be a very good team, and it proved that they weren't.
I mean, these championships? Do you like seeing games like this, or do you rather see a tight, close game and?
Honestly, I don't really watch women's basketball at all, so
to say.
I don't watch it at all. I mean, I just watched it last night because there was really nothing else on.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday night. There's
So
never no TV on. Well, that's it for college basketball. It's all over until next year.
You have the NBA draft in June. And speaking of that,
yes.
You have Indiana's Cody Zeller and Victor Oladipo going pro. Kansas's Ben McLemore.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville's Russ Smith. Peyton Siva, but only because he's a senior.
Yeah.
And Missouri's Phil Pressey are all going pro.
What is Pressey? Is he Is he a junior?
I believe he's a senior. He's been there for a while.
Yeah, so he has to go. Do you think
Maybe he was a junior.
Out of Big Blue, who do you think's going?
Trey Burke.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah, after his performance in the championship, if it wasn't for him, Michigan would have been blown out.
Do you feel like he's accomplished everything except the national championship in college basketball? I mean, he's won every major award this year.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever heard of Trey Burke before this year?
I have.
But he wasn't talked about. Yeah, of course. In the top 5 players in the game.
I mean, for me.
But you know what?
You never know.
What is he? A sophomore, junior?
He's a sophomore.
The time now is to go pro. You come back and get hurt. You go from a lottery pick to maybe a late first-round pick.
I mean, I feel like he's one of those players that want to come back and win the national championship. You know? That's how I feel about it. I mean, if I was him, yes, you've accomplished everything that you needed to except win a national championship. Do you really want to come back? To me,
But how many players have done that and have ended up getting hurt or having bad years?
Well, coming back and
costing themselves a lot of money.
It's happening a lot. It's happened in most, like the NFL, most recently. It always happens in the NFL. College, you don't see it that much in basketball, I don't think. Not as much as the NFL.
I mean, I know Nerlens Noel is probably going to end up going pro, but to me,
he should definitely come back.
I would come back just to prove that I'm healthy.
He still might be the number 1 pick.
He will be, because you can't teach size.
But here's the funny thing. You're going to draft this kid, and he's not even going to be playing until next year.
But look at Anthony Davis. Have you really heard anything about him at all this entire year?
I didn't think he was going to be a good player in the first place just because he got so much hype surrounding him that, this guy's a no-brainer number 1. He's the best thing since LeBron James or something like that, you know? And I didn't agree with that. That's why I say if Noel, if the Bobcats are maybe get the number 1 pick, if they draft Nerlens Noel, he's not playing until next year. So it's kind of a wasted pick for now. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
You look zoned in.
Oh, I was looking at the
76ers
NBA
best
statistics,
record in the NBA.
The NBA standings that I printed up that came out wrong.
Do you think?
Thanks a lot, Gavin, in my research department. You're fired.
Do you think Macklemore will be any good of a pro?
I don't know. He sort of tailed off at the end of the year and into the tournament.
How about Zeller or Oladipo?
I've been hearing that there's now a, what do you call it, a recipe to frustrating Zeller, and it's just being physical with him.
Yeah, he's soft. He won't be a good. He won't. I looked at him on draft, and guess where they have him going?
He'll be a good power forward on a team that has a decent
center.
Or good center.
I saw a mock draft, and you know where they had him going?
Bottom of the first?
Yeah, the 76ers.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Uh-oh. Him and Andrew Bynum, the dream team connection.
Bynum ain't coming back.
No, I saw something last week that...
There's no way they re-sign him.
He might.
He says that they're a possibility. They're only a possibility if it's a sign and trade. He ain't coming back.
You want him back.
Please.
You need him back.
I would rather have Sean
from?
Bradley come back.
What? Sean Bradley?
Yeah, that's right.
Why?
All 7 foot
8,
6 inches.
Getting dunked on by little guys and stuff. Yeah, that's what you want.
Because this year Bynum proved he has no heart. No heart whatsoever.
He worried more about his hair than the game.
Yeah, exactly. And bowling. My knees hurt, but I'm going to go bowl.
But I'm gonna go.
Why does he care? He got his $15 million.
Isn't he a free agent this year?
Unrestricted, so he can go wherever he wants, but the Sixers can give him the most money and that 5th year. Anybody else can only... No, they're not re-signing him. Let me tell you this. There's going to be a lot of changes in Philly. I think Doug Collins is going to resign.
Or get fired.
No, they won't fire him. They'll let him resign. I think they're going to trade Thad Young and Evan Turner.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Because they've got to get draft picks. They stink.
Are they going to trade Drew Holiday at all?
Nah, Drew Holiday's the only untouchable.
Not after his 2 for 24 shooting game?
Yeah, he's been hitting the wall too, so...
I don't know.
But there's no talent on that team.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to get talent, you might as well trade your best player.
Nah, then you'd really be starting over.
I mean, might as well. I mean, you're not going to compete with Miami yet. With the team you have, even if you get Bynum.
Compete with Milwaukee.
I mean, exactly. So might as well just start over like what the Bobcats are doing, you know? Try to get a young point guard.
But the Bobcats have been starting over since they became a team. They're horrendous. And Michael Jordan's personnel decisions are horrendous.
I know. He had some opportunities. But I say they should rebuild.
And I think they're going to get the first pick again this year.
Well, depending on how the lottery
Let's see how bad he screws that up.
Well, that might not, because they didn't even get the first pick last year. They would have had Anthony Davis. They might not even get the first pick again.
But what if they do? Who do you think he takes?
Honestly, if I was him...
He would take Trey Burke, and they already have Kemba Walker.
To me, Kemba Walker, I don't like him at the Bobcats. I don't. I'd rather see him on another team. He's too good to be on the Bobcats. I think you need a point guard. You need a point guard in the NBA to build your team around. That's what the league's going
That's
into.
what the Sixers have, but you're saying trade them.
And get
what? Another lottery pick?
Get multiple lottery picks. Get a point guard. If you get a high pick, get Trey Burke. And if you could get like a top 3 pick and you wanted shooters and go get free agent and get Bynum back. Listen, this is what they should do. They could think about this. Rebuild, trade Thad Young, Evan Turner, and Drew Holiday separately. Get Drew Holiday with Drew Holiday, you're going to get some kind of high pick. You get a top 5 pick, high top 5 pick. If you get somebody like a Ben McLemore, a shooter, and then you try to get a point guard, you get free agent. If you bring back
How about this? Because the producer's telling us we got to go to commercial soon.
Okay.
How about this? How about if the Sixers trade Holiday, Turner, and Thad Young?
Yeah.
Right?
All together? One trade.
No, not all together, but trade all 3 of them guys.
Mm-hmm.
Re-sign Bynum.
Okay.
And build around Bynum. How about that?
Is
that a plan?
Yeah, there you go. I knew George would give in.
Yeah.
But no, that's what they should do. Keep Bynum.
Re-sign Bynum?
And get shooters and point guards and try to get some free agents. Cap space. You know? That's what I would do.
Nah, I couldn't do that, man. I would become.
You're not going anywhere anytime soon with the team you have right now. Might as well.
No, you're not. But I can't.
Might as well just rebuild.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk Major League Baseball since we're in the second week of the season.
And how my New York Yankees are heating up, and Roy Halladay is on a decline.
Yeah. He needs to be demoted to single A. You're listening to the Average Joe Show on The Pulse.
We'll be back.